UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Rodriguez is coming up this weekend, and today, guys, I have the complete betting guide for you with timestamps if you'd like to skip to any part of the video. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, we're going to be going through confident picks, underdog opportunities, fights that I do not believe you should be betting on. Then we are going to get into my personal lock of the week, and we are going to continue on with the more fun part of the video, that being looking for any props that are available right now, making some ridiculous parlays, and then we are going to end the video off with the channel betting recap today. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's get started with this video, starting off with the confident picks. I have two confident picks for you today. The card is very, very strong, but there's a lot of fights where I'm sitting down and I'm like, I could see this one kind of going either way. So starting off with the first confident pick, it is going to be Gabriel Bonfim. I am not necessarily too impressed with the state of both of their guys' careers right now. The only path of victory that I see for Chaos Williams is catching Gabriel Bonfim and knocking him out. We were very, very worried about Gabriel Bonfim and his gas tank after the Nicholas Dalby fight. He came back, showed a little bit of improvements, got a win over a very nice contender, and I like all of the options that Gabriel Bonfim has at his disposal this time around, and I am pretty confident that he's going to get the win over Chaos Williams. So, also, if you guys are brand new to this channel, this is kind of like the recap for some of the picks. If you're interested, we have already a full card breakdown video diving into each fight as deep as we could possibly get. You can check out the video on the channel. So let's continue on to the next confident pick, that being Youssef Zalal. Unfortunately, guys, Calvin Kattar is 37 years old. He has taken a lot of damage. And while I'm not ready to sit down and say this dude is washed yet, I love the improvements that I've seen. I love the performances that we've seen from Youssef Zalal. This dude is probably one of the most motivated fighters in the entire sport. He is showing high IQ in his fights. He is improving every single time that we see him. I believe he's going to continue on that train, and I think that he's going to get the win over Calvin Kattar. He also has more options and more avenues, paths to victory to get the win over Calvin Kattar. So I am confident that Youssef Zalal will also get the job done. With that being said, guys, let's continue on to a couple underdog opportunities that I have for you. These are not necessarily picks. These are not necessarily fights that I'm going to be betting on. I'm just thinking about, okay, if there's going to be an upset on the card, if you're looking to place a pure value bet, might be kind of wanting to look towards these fighters. And the first one's going to be Jesus Aguilar. I don't have a ton to say about this one, but I know that people hold Rafael Estevam very highly right now. I just think that Jesus Aguilar is also a really good fighter, and I could see this one being an upset. Not necessarily a ton to break down with that one, and let's continue on to the other underdog opportunity that I have for you. That's going to be Jared Cannonier. This is a big step up in competition for Gregory Rodriguez, and Gregory kind of shines when he is making the fight a little bit more chaotic. What is Jared Cannonier great at? Slowing things down, making it a 1-2 kind of fest, and if Jared Cannonier is able to do that, he will absolutely be able to get the job done against Gregory Rodriguez. Jared Cannonier has a ton of high-level experience against guys that are better than what Gregory Rodriguez has faced so far. The only thing that I worry about is one of these days Jared's going to show up and look his age, but that hasn't happened yet. I actually don't mind Jared Cannonier's chances one little bit for this fight. I think it's a very close fight, but I do think it's crazy that you can get Jared Cannonier for the odds that you can get him at. Now, guys, let's continue on to a couple fights that I believe you should not be betting on, starting off with Angela Hill versus Ketlen Souza. Now, Ketlen Souza is actually a confident pick of mine, but somehow Angela Hill just seems to get it done. Kind of the same like Cody Brundage effect. And there's, it's escaping my memory right now, but there's another fighter that's kind of like that where I'm like, you know what, I'm done. He can just get the win, even though it doesn't make sense that he can get the win. I'm done. Angela Hill is one of those fighters, okay? She's 17-14. She is not as good of a fighter as Ketlen Souza, in my opinion, but somehow, some way, she just seems to get the job done sometimes. So I'm staying away from this fight. Don't know how it's going to go. Let's continue on to the next fight that I believe you should not be betting on. Walter Rocker, Dontel Mays. I can see this one going either way. Dontel Mays, while he is a fighter that, like, his 11-7 is understandable if you watch this guy fight, but in his past two fights, he's actually been throwing with intent. He's actually been trying to win. We haven't necessarily seen any improvements from him, but the intent to kill is there. He just doesn't always get the job done. Walter Rocker, on the other hand, we still don't know exactly where this guy fits. We've seen him have less than a round's worth of cardio. We don't know if he's improved upon that. He had such a weird fight with Junior Tafa, which he won it. It's just, it was weird. I don't know where Walter Walker belongs in the UFC yet. Dontel Mays isn't that good. Is Walter Walker good enough to beat Dontel Mays? I'm not going to be betting on someone in Walter Walker, too, who has seemingly less than a round's worth of cardio. There are a lot of questions about this one. There's a lot of red flags. I am staying away from this one. Let's continue on to the next fight, that being Rodolfo Vera versus Andre Petroski. This one is just two really nice up-and-coming fighters. not the best fighters in the world, but I think their talent level is very, very similar, and I think it's going to be a very closely contested contest. I don't mind this one for like a round line or something like that, but for money line, I don't know how this one's going to go. I think both guys are very good, and I think that they're going to clash, and it's going to be a really, really fun fight to watch. Let's continue on to Edmund Shabazian, Dylan Budka. This one's just Edmund Shabazian. He is so unbelievably inconsistent. He can come in, he can look great, and all of a sudden, oh, my heart's gone. Oh, my cardio's gone. Or he can show up, and he can beat his opponent to death. Don't know, don't care. Edmund Shabazian's involved. I'm not betting on it. Let's continue on to the last fight, guys, that I believe you should not be betting on. It's a little bit more of the same as we were just talking about. Ismail Bonfim, Nazim Sadikov. I think both fighters are very capable. I think both fighters are kind of in a similar spot in their career. They both have a lot to prove, and I think it's going to be a great fight, and I think that both guys are capable of winning this fight. For that reason, I'm personally staying away from this one. So, guys, let's continue on to my personal lock of the week. The fighter on the card that I believe is my most confident pick, I will say, is Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Now, you watch Jacqueline fight, and she actually has some technique. She has nice movement. She's one of those WMA fighters that is actually capable of having a good performance. Julia Avila is not. Julia Avila is one of the worst fighters in the history of the UFC. So you have a fighter in the division that's actually a little bit capable versus somebody who is beyond useless. There's nothing to break down over here. If Jacqueline Cavalcanti loses this fight, none of us have any business betting anymore because it just doesn't make sense. Okay? This is my most confident pick that we've seen in quite a while. Jacqueline Cavalcanti should steamroll Julia Avila. Not a doubt in my mind. And she's already heavy favorite on Tapology. I don't know what the odds are at right now, but that is that's a beyond confident pick, okay? Let's continue on, guys, to more of the fun part of the video. This isn't really planned. This isn't really structured. Just taking a look at some props that are available for right now, some round lines. Let me bring you over to OddsJam. By the way, guys, if you are interested in OddsJam, they are a partner of the channel. You can sign up to OddsJam, which is fantastic for serious sports bettors with multiple sports books. Links down below, pinned comment, description down below. Use code Clenbat. Thank you very much, guys. So, of course, Ketlin Souza, Angela Hill, over 2.5 for minus 434. That's crazy. No, thank you. Cal Fernandez, Jared Gordon, still kind of the same thing. There's not a lot of really good lines. Dylan Budka, Edmund Shabazian, over 2.5 is plus money. Don't trust that one. Over 2.5 for Gregory Rodriguez, Jared Cannonier is minus 135. That I actually like. I like a 1.5 for this, but it depends, like, can Jared Cannonier show up and can he slow the pace down? If that's the case, then I could very well see that going over 2.5 rounds, okay? I got really confused for a second with Macy Chiesa and Ketlin Vieira over here, but this is not the same card, okay? Let's continue on over to the other side over here. Andre Petrosky, Rodolfo Vieira, over 1.5, minus 153. I like that, actually. I like those odds. Over 2.5 for Nazim Sadikov, Ismail Bonfim, no thank you. Calvin Kattar, Yusuf Zalal, don't like that either. Dontel Mays, Walter Walker. Over 2.5 is minus 161. I honestly thought that might have been plus money. But anyways, also we have Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Julia Avila, the minus 250. Not necessarily a ton to really scream about over the prop section. But guys, let's take a look at, again, a little bit more of the fun part of the video over here. Just making some ridiculous parlays. I'm excited for the potential over here for the underdogs, okay? Something, if you guys have been following the channel, something my sister and I do every week is we put 10 cents on every single underdog. One time, we were millionaires. They're almost millionaires in a Bellator event. Let's see what we get for 10 cents. Nothing. A lot of close fights here. So, let's take a look at some confident picks, okay? So, Gabriel Bonfim, Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Like, I think those odds should be even higher than they are, to be honest with you. But then again, it's WMMA, okay? And what was the other one? Yusuf Zalal. Those together, something's bound to go wrong, man. Something's bound to go wrong. Like, Gabriel Bonfim, I don't mind those odds just together. But Yusuf Zalal and Jacqueline Cavalcanti, I actually don't mind that. That's a pretty solid parlay. Let's see if we can just pick some fights, okay? Let's see what we can make over here. We'll pick Ketlin Souza as an underdog. Crazy, okay? Walter Walker, Gabriel Bonfim. Such a tough fight. Cal Fernandez, Jacqueline Cavalcanti, Jesus Aguilar. This is going to be wild. This one's tough. I can see that one going either way. Vince Morales. Ismail Bonfim. So many close fights, okay? Andre Petrosky, Edmund Shabazian, Yusuf Zalal, Gregory Rodriguez, Jared Cannonier. That's wild. Even just like $5. Oh my God. Can you imagine like putting 50 down on that? Oh my God. That would never happen. Never happen, okay? What about some fights that I actually like the picks of, okay? I like Ketlin Souza. I like Gabriel Bonfim. I like Cavalcanti. I like not a lot else. Andre Petrosky's not bad. Shabazian. But the problem is, like, Dylan Budka, I could so see. Like he should lose this fight, but Edmund's just so untrustworthy and unreliable that I'm like, no, thank you. Yusuf Zalal, Jared Cannonier. That is a tough parlay to hit. There's a lot of potential over here, but for a serious parlay, I actually like Jacqueline Cavalcanti and Yusuf Zalal together. That's not bad, but I'm still like, Calvin Cater's still a dog, man. I'm not ready to like completely count him out. It's a very, very interesting card. Now, speaking of interesting results over here, guys, let's move on to the channel betting recap we have over here because this was a big, giant toughie, okay? Let me walk you through it, all right? Let me walk you through it over here, what we had going on, okay? So these are the official plays we had for the channel. I did mention that I wanted to be more creative this week, keeping things extremely small or very small just in case, so be careful if you decide to tail. As always, never blindly tail. Have a members-only video coming out, and what I explained in this members-only video is I saw a ton of value on these underdogs. That's why I was playing with 0.15 units, and I was like, oh my god, the fun parlay busted. Oh my god, Jenkins and Bruno Brazil and Vyacheslav Borshev, who Vyacheslav I'm shocked about. I thought he was really going to win this fight, and I know a lot of other people did too, but we did not have a good night. But the saving grace, Weili Zhang came down, saved the day. Guys, I got Weili Zhang at plus 230. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I should have bet more than I did, man. So for my picks and even just the full card breakdown picks, man, like I had a very, very, very rough event when it came to just picks in general. I wanted to bet on Duplessis, but I was worried about how close the first fight was. But man, like Kevin Jousset, I was supremely confident in. Vyacheslav Borshev, I was supremely confident in. And for Bruno Brazil and Jack Jenkins, I purely went for value over there. And every time I deviate away from my strategy of just like, you know what, I'm going to keep it very like compact with some fighters that I really, really like. As long as they're not giant favorites, I'm going to keep betting on them. Every time I seem to deviate from that, it doesn't necessarily work out. I'm thinking about doing one more card with it because I do like getting creative. I do like getting hyped up at the idea of like a Bruno Brazil winning at like 4-1 odds or whatever it was, you know? But at the same time, like it doesn't work out. But thankfully, I didn't expect much from it, so we're only put like literally 0.15 units on it, except for Weili Zhang, which was a 0.5 unit bet. Weili Zhang coming in clutch, saving the day. I had a giant smile on my face, man. So if you guys are interested, which of course I don't expect you to be interested in after a card like this, after a result like this, but we don't cover our losses. We don't play pretend like a lot of these channels. We own them over here, okay? I'm here for the long run, guys. Typically we do pretty good. So if you're interested in checking out the bets that we place or just supporting the channel in general, check out the channel membership. I'd love to have you over there, guys. Let me know what you think about the card down below. Thank you very, very much for watching. Take care.